Hi friends, I'm Kelly and this is my Quilty Sidekick YouTube. If you're designing quilt patterns and want to use Affinity Designer instead of Adobe, you're in the right place. So this is part of my Affinity series where we learn step by step how to design, well, beautiful quilts and put together beautiful quilt blocks. And with Affinity at the moment of filming this, there are no subscriptions required. So today we are going to be building the classic Sawtooth Star block. And all you'll need is a few simple shapes. We'll start exploring the rectangle tool. We'll use the pen tool, the shape builder tool, and turn them into half square triangles. Once you've got that down, you'll be able to create flying geese, quarter square triangles, just about any block that you can dream of. I did want to pre-warn, if this is the first time you have seen me, you need to make sure that you watch the previous video. And it's called Quilt Pattern Design Without Adobe, Start Here with Affinity. That's where I show you how to set up your workspace and a grid system for quilting. Let's get to it. Setup is just to click on new. You want your template. Click on, I'm just clicking on my 12-inch block, which is what we created last time. Tool panel on the right hand side there. So if you click on your studio, actually first of all we clicked on window, and then we go through to studio and quilt studio, then your tool panel will automatically show up here. And that's what we want to see. In the last video, I did put my artboard at 12.5 inches. Now, if you're working on a favorite size, then you can certainly do that. When I began quilting, the basic block size was a 12.5 inch unfinished. What I'm going to do now is actually make it a finished 12 inch. Just clicked on the artboard, and that actually gives me all these nodes that I can make at the size that I wanted to make. So I'm actually making this 12 by 12 inches because then I can divide 4 into 3 or 3 into 4, and it all works out really nice and easy for me without having to get my toes out, so I have to count. So I've updated my artboard to 12 inches. I'm going to click off my artboard because I don't want to move that anymore. I don't want to change it. And I'm just going to select my move tool, which is up here. So I have got a little Sawtooth Star here. We can see it's actually a 4x4 grid, which divides into 12 nicely. So if we do a 4x4 grid, we can do 3 inch by 3 inch squares to get that 4 along the 12 inches. For a Sawtooth Star, you can use this as a flying geese shape. For myself recently, I've been making these bags, and they have been half square triangles. So I have not done them with the flying geese at the moment because of the way I create that bag. It's going to be in other tutorials, so I hope you pay attention for that one. For this particular scenario, what we're going to do is create half square triangles, which is a good skill builder, right? So on the left hand side, we can see the rectangle tool. I'm going to click on that. And the first rectangle we're actually wanting is a 3x3. So we're simply, because we've made our grid and it's got snaps in it, it will actually stop us right at 3 and 3. 3x3. Easy peasy. So that's our first square. Another something you might want to be aware of is if you click on your square, we've got our square. If you click on the option tool, I apologize, I have a Mac. I'm dragging that with my mouse. I've got my option key down. I've let go of my option key. Now it's all on the mouse, and I can actually situate that because I've got my snaps on. Easy, right? And it'll all be equal. I don't need to worry about it being out by a 1/10 of a millimeter or whatever. Then I'm just going to copy these two again. I'm just going to do exactly the same thing. I've selected both squares, clicked on the option tool, dragged it, let go of my option tool, and I can drag it anywhere I want. Like I could seriously put it down here if I really wanted to, but let's put it up the top. So now I've got my first row. If we're looking at that, I need to do 2 half square triangles. They are super easy to do. So all you need to do is grab over here on the left your pen tool. I've clicked on the pen tool. Now I've got a little pen. Up in the top left hand corner of the square that I want to make 2 triangles, I'm going to click there, come down and click on the bottom right hand corner. And now I'm going to go, so I've done my pen, that's all I want with my pen. Click on the move tool. And now I want to grab both of those things. So the square and the line. So I'm going to click on the square and then click on my shift tool, click on the line. Now I have both of them. If you have a look in your layers tool, you can see they're both selected. Then I want to click on my shape builder tool, left hand side there, shape builder tool, click on that because I don't want to add extra shapes here. So if we were over here using the shape builder tool, we could click on create a new shape from the selected area, but we don't want extra shapes in our board. And we don't want to see the other one with the minus. It says delete the selected area from the objects. We don't want to delete it. So what we do want is the create a new shape from the selected area and remove used areas from the original objects. So we want to click on that plus. And do you see here, our shape builder is actually going to add whatever we click on. So we want to click on the top of the triangle and then the bottom of the triangle. If we now click on the move tool to make sure we're not clicking on anything weird, we do still have the line that's there, which we probably could get rid of. But we don't have any extra squares. So at the moment we have 3 squares and 2 triangles, which is what we've got. And then we've got a line, which I don't want. So I'm going to delete it because we just don't need extra. So now I'm going to do exactly the same with the other square. So you can have another go at this. Click on the pen tool. We want it to do from the bottom side into the top right hand. Now we want to click on the move tool, grab that square, click on the shift tool because we're selecting that line as well. You can see in the layers, you've got them both there. We want to go over to our shape builder tool. We've got the plus already going up here in the actions, and we just want to click on that one, adding, click on that one, adding, click on the move tool. And then again, you can see you've still got your line there. We don't need it anymore, delete. So now we have, instead of just the 4 blocks, we now have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, we've got 6 shapes. That's all we need. That's great, right? These are separate shapes. They are not grouped. I don't think we need them grouped at this point, but what we are going to do is, because in our Sawtooth Star, this is the same as down here. So we can do the same thing we've just done. We've selected all of our shapes that are on there at the moment, clicked on the option tool, let go of the option tool. We've still got it with our mouse. Pop it down the bottom. Now using the align tools up here, we can flip it and we will flip vertically. So if we're going to click on that, and there we go, we've nearly finished our block. The middle portion of this Sawtooth Star block is, well, firstly, there's the big square one. So we know how to make the squares. Click on the rectangle tool, start right in the corner here, and you can see there it's actually come up with width 6 inch by 6 inch, which is perfect. That's exactly what we want. I'm still on the rectangle tool. You can see that by my cursor. If I click on the move tool, I am no longer on that rectangle tool anymore. Before we start doing the other half square triangles to these positions, let's first of all, get rid of the grid behind us because it's a bit much, isn't it? So we just go to View and Show Grid. We are just going to take the grid off for a little while. We can put it back on anytime we want to build something else, and that will be no problem. So first of all, grab them all at the same time. So the 4 corners on the edges, I'm going to grab that. So I've grabbed the first one. I'm putting down Shift. Now I'm just going to tap on each corner. And then I'm going to click on my panel, which is for the color. And I'm actually just going to make it exactly the same colors as what's in our little sample here. So I'm going to grab the picker, click on any of the corners. So I'm just going to click on the corners, and now I've made it. Those ones, I've made it that color. All the 4 corners are that color. So for the fun color, let's do the same thing. We can click on the bottom triangle, the other bottom, the center, and then the top of the bottom ones. You can see in the layer panels, I have got 5 shapes there. So now let's click on the picker, and then we've just filled in that part of the block. Now it's just these top and bottom triangles we haven't done. Another way, and just to be aware, so you're aware, we can click on this one with our Shift tool down again. And then do you see over in the color panel, it's got the most recent colors we've used. So if we just click on that one, that's another way. Instead of changing the picker again, we can just use on the most recent colors. Okay, I'm on the Move tool. We now just want to make our flying geese, not really, just our half square triangles to here, to the left and the right of our Sawtooth Star. Otherwise, it feels like a little armless or something. So let's just do exactly what we've done before. I've grabbed those shapes, top section, and then I am going to click on my Option tool, and we have moved it, and I'm going to let that go. I'm going to use the alignment tools again and flip it and then pull it in, or snap it in place. I guess we can do that. Now I'm going to do that again. At the moment I haven't unselected that, so it's still selected. Got my Option key, grab it over here. I've let go of my Option key just so it snaps in place, and then we're going to flip it horizontally. It's done. We now have our Sawtooth Star. That was how easy it is to manipulate all these shapes and make them a quilt block. So how great is that? So we have now our Sawtooth Star. That's our first block, which is really good. If you are new to Affinity and you've learned how to do this, that is amazing. I seriously had Affinity so long before I learned how to do that. Anyway, I hope it's a whole lot quicker for you. And there we go. So that's your first block that we have created in Affinity Designer, and you've just learned how to use the rectangle tool, pen tool, shape builder tool, and a few other handy tricks with the alignments and the duplications. All these skills you can use again and again as you build your quilt patterns or quilt blocks. So if this was helpful for you, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I've got other tutorials coming up soon where we'll look at shapes even further and design more advanced blocks and layouts. And that will build on these skills. That's it for today, guys. I'll see you in the next one.